Namaste. Namaste. We'll give it some time for us to unite. Good morning, Judith. As we give ourselves some time to collect as the group, but also consider this time for you to collect yourself, right? To situate yourself in a position, whether it's a piece of furniture on your floor, to situate yourself in such a way that you can begin to gather your awareness. Right? That word collect or gather, I think, can be really, really helpful in the description, right? We're taking all little facets of ourselves right now and really, really, really pulling ourselves in. So as we collectively take time to collect, as we all kind of slowly turn on the devices and tune in. Good morning, Angel. Good morning, Heather. As we take time to collect as the group, also give yourself time to collect yourself, right? To collect yourself, right? I just think there's so much to suggest within that phrase, right? That it takes us a while to kind of like pull all of the fragments, all of the components of who we are today in, right? Into this wholeness, right? So give yourself some time to collect. Collect all of your particles and pieces and thoughts. And really choose a position that's going to help you collect yourself, right? It's so important that we pay attention to the choices that we're making while we're making them, that how you choose to sit, where you choose to sit, can affect this experience, can affect any experience, right? About another minute or so for us to collect. Collecting ourselves as the beautiful, large, global collective, but also time to collect yourself as the individual. Let us tune in. Breathe in. Namaste. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're tuning in from. As I was saying a few moments ago, really give yourself some time to collect, right? To collect yourself, to call yourself, because we're all over the place, right? Give yourself some time to call yourself in and plant yourself down, plop yourself in. Here we are. Alone together. Amen for that. I was thinking about, now that we've been doing this for a while, this and, the Zoom physical asana practice to follow, it popped into my mind today that I never stopped to investigate whether it was true or not, because I haven't watched my own video in the asana flow class, but that I'm appearing, in opposition, so when I say cues like lift your right arm, on the screen it's showing up as the left through the Zoom lens, if you will. And I was thinking about how I never really stopped to address that as far as something to pass on as instruction or to kind of warn people, like, when I lift my right pinky finger, it's going to appear to look like my left pinky finger. And it's really, how I teach in general. I don't really offer information to kind of ensure that we're all going to get something right. I'm much more interested in people figuring things out for themselves, at some point, anyone that is choosing to participate in the Zoom platform for physical asana practice, they're going to figure it out, right? They're going to come to realize it. And then there's so much more value in someone experientially coming upon information than it just being told to them. And this is very challenging for me because I'm always sensing when I'm here at the room in Shakti and guiding people through a group class, like, oh wow, this is difficult, oh wow, people are struggling. I could really make this a lot easier if I just gave them a few hints and threw in a few clues. But it's so much more interesting for the individual to kind of work out their process in their own time and then like really, really own the experience and gain the wisdom that comes from each individual figuring things out in their own time, in their own way. And I really trust in that process. I trust in us as the collective conscious, right? So it got me thinking, this kind of trick of the screen, if you will, that when I'm offering the asana practice, that as when I raise my right hand, it appears to look like my left. It really got me thinking about the concept of how we perceive things. I was thinking about the little guy in the Willy Wonka chocolate factory TV mic, right? Like, we all perceive him is to be shrunk, right? By way of technology, right? Insert the little person into the electronic box device, right? Obviously, right? We know that that is not to be so. Yet it's a trick of the mind, how we perceive, right? So this really opens up the doors, is if we choose to really be learning some lessons along the way on this grand path of life. And, there's so many to learn any given moment, but particularly now, when we are in crisis, particularly now when moments are more heated, intensities are up, right? There's so many lessons that can come through, and one of which might be, for you, the individual, and for us as the collective of conscious human beings, right? Waking up is how we perceive. When we look at something, we often have trained the brain to just grab it as truth. Yet if we stop and pay attention, look a little longer, go a little deeper, we understand. We gain that piece of information experientially, that my right hand appears to look like my left, and eventually we understand the difference. When we start to do that with these little devices now, right? Everybody's on device, right? Everybody's using this as a source of communication. It starts to peek open the mind of curiosity, like, wait, is that really so? Right? And if we can start to ask these questions very compassionately, what do we perceive to be true and what is in actuality truth, right? It's a huge question, right? And we don't have to do this with everything 24/7 because it will get exhausting. But my goodness, how awesome would it be if every once in a while we just stopped and said, wait, is that a perception? Is that how I'm seeing it? And maybe how could I see it differently? Maybe the first sight isn't the quickest truth. Maybe there's more there for me to uncover, for me to learn, for me to experience, all on my own. So this, executing sight in such a way that we grow insightful, right? By questioning, very compassionately questioning, or even compassionately challenging, right? Not challenging in an aggressive, fight-like way, but compassionately challenging. What is it that you're seeing? And is the mind in some ways, playing a trick on you, on how you perceive it to be, right? Because what can come out of compassionately challenging perception is that we grow perspective and raise consciousness, right? That it all works together, right? When we just stop and say, wait, is that really what it is, or is it just how I'm seeing it right now? That her left hand appears to be her right hand, right? Or vice versa, right? So sometimes the simplest thing that can mix us up the most, right? These things that we struggle with as humans, right? The things that kind of stick in our craw, that throw us off our game, right, are the greatest blessings. Because they give us a chance to kind of rattle the marbles of the mind, rearrange, and say, wait, is that really it, or is it just how I'm seeing it? What else is there? Let me broaden my scope. Right? Because if we just take it to be true, right, like little shrunken Mikey in the Willy Wonka factory, right? We're living a very, very tiny existence, right? So we gotta stretch it open. Okay. And breathe in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Again. One more. Move yourself about in your seat and remember that opportunity to collect yourself, right? All of these little kind of facets of you, all these little thoughts and perceptions of you, how we perceive life to be, and kind of pull them all in, gather, collect yourself, magnetically draw everything into the container, the body, right? The box of the self that holds the energy. And then at first it's going to feel just, kind of scrambly, probably, right? More than likely. As you pull everything, it might feel a little chaotic. Like, the little snow on the TV screen that we used to see back in the day, right? The particles, the fragments, right? But maybe if we just kind of sit with it long enough and we understand that there is more beyond our own particle, our own fragmentation, right? Our first perception. Maybe if we can dare to just go in a little further and sit a little longer, we can train that eye of awareness and to wake up in such a way that insightfulness, this ability to see in, can wake up, can come alive within us. And that insightfulness does not stop at first glance, does not stop at the first perception. It keeps going. It's hungry. It's interested. Keep calling yourself in a little further. Maybe go down a little deeper. Take a little inner tour. And bring your breath up into your focus. And let them meet. And as you begin to stretch open your breath, you're stretching open your focus, your sight, your ability to see. And as your breath continues to stretch open your inner eye of awareness, and perhaps coming to understand that what we perceive to be isn't always the case. And keep stretching open your breath, allowing it to stretch open your inner eye of awareness. Maybe today we just don't settle for the first perception. Maybe we keep looking, maybe we keep searching, maybe we keep going. Maybe this breath sustains us in looking, in seeking. Open up the waist. And sink toward the hips. And soften through the face. Release through the shoulders. And focus to the breath. And 5 counts. Empty from the underbelly. Breathe in. Retain. Breathe out. Retain. 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 Release the lock of the underbelly. Let your breath go. Let it flow. Bring your focus into your breath as your breath just goes. It goes beyond the first concept, the first interpretation. It goes beyond how we might first perceive things to be. As it goes, it grows. And as it grows, your eye of inner awareness stretches open. Sit in this place of the seeker for just a few more precious moments. And then open the eyes. Spread the arms out in a nice, wide, soft T as you inhale. And slowly draw the hands close together across the chest as you exhale. Spread wide as you breathe in. Draw them close as you breathe out. And this beautiful expansiveness as you inhale. And this gathering, this collecting of you as you exhale. Expanding as you breathe in. Collecting as you breathe out. So each time that you collect information, is from a far more expansiveness of yourself. Pass through one more cycle. And then as you collect, bring it together at the center of the heart and seal the deal. Grab the collection, right? How you are collecting yourself right now is potentially far different from when you started, when you first turned on the device, right? May we continue to stretch open the mind of awareness in such a way that we continue to learn experientially. May we not settle for the first perspective, for the first perception. May we not settle for the first perception that we see, right? There's so much there beyond it. And breathe in. May we keep going. May we keep growing. Namaste. I hope this helps to serve your day in some small way. You know, we're constantly in training if we choose to be, right? We are students of life if we desire to be, right? And as students, one of the great lessons might be, you know, not to stop at first perception, right? There's so much there, right? There's so much there for us to learn. There's so much there for us to see. There's so much there for us to experience. If you think that this would serve somebody, I encourage you to share it with them and keep expanding our community, keep growing our collective. If anybody does want to participate in the asana physical practice, we will be heading over to Zoom, and my right hand will appear to be my left. Let's close it up. Send it out. Send it out. Right? It matters. Right? We can all do this together. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live with an easy heart. Namaste.